Hey y'all, this is Joe from the porch of the tiny house out here at St. Bernard Acres. It's Wednesday, August 19th. I managed to get a couple days off from work. I wanted to come out here and spend a couple days, see if our uh, fellas with the sticky fingers show back up. Um, kind of be if they want to come and get some more stuff out of the barn because they left a few things. And I don't know if they'll come back or not, but I'll be here. If they do, then I can confront them. They probably won't. They've hit this area now. They probably moved on. But nonetheless, I had a couple more cameras I wanted to set up. Try to get that going and get power run over here so I can run the cameras. And we'll get that set up. But just to put a couple people's questions, a couple people that questioned it, the cameras, I show a couple of the cameras, and yep, that's where they are. You don't want to step in front of those for sure. But what's going to happen is if you want to avoid those cameras, then you're going to have to go another route. You don't know where or if there are cameras anywhere else on the property. They are much smaller and you will not see them. But I will see you or whoever happens to, be walking by. um, I'm not, obviously, I'm not going to show all the camera locations that we have. These are big cameras, and I have those for a purpose, and that goes along with my sign out there in the driveway that this is under video and audio surveillance. They can see these. I want them to see these. Then they know I'm serious. I don't want them to see the other ones. So I won't be showing those. I won't even show what they look like. But it's a shame that I have to do this. I mean, the system cost the money I could have used to replace the generator and the chainsaw uh, and the jaw saw. I mean, that's ridiculous to have to spend that kind of money just for security. But after talking with the sheriff, um, I did talk to them about it. I don't have insurance out here because this is not my home. We have insurance on the property or on the barn in case it burns down, but no personal belongings insurance or anything like that. They didn't want to insure it anyway because we don't live here, and we're only weekenders. That's what the sheriff told us. There's a lot of people doing exactly what we're doing. There's a lot of property being bought in this area, a lot of lots, and we are known to the locals as weekenders. They know we come out on the weekends and work our property. They won't hit us on the weekend, on Friday or Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is when they're liable to take the chance. Uh, and they are locals. I mean, they're not, you know, it's not somebody that watched my videos and figured out where I am and came here and got the stuff. This is unfortunately, it's not an uncommon occurrence out here in this country, in these woods. It's happened to everybody, and it will continue to happen to everybody. The heroin out here, the meth, it's epidemic proportions. Um, and you think, I've lived in the cities all my life, so you think, all right, around my neighborhood in Wheeling are drugs everywhere, drug dealers. We'll get out to the country, we won't have to deal with that stuff. Well, you do. You don't see it on a daily basis, and you don't, have to look at it daily, but you are going to be affected by it. And um, it's just a fact of life nowadays. And the sheriff, I will say this in talking with him, he was a really cool person. Um, and I liked his whole attitude, and he's right. If I have insurance, they can file a report so that I can claim my insurance. If I don't have insurance, why file a report? He is not going to pull his deputies in to go look for my generator. It's not going to happen. I know that. He knows that. He knows I know that. So we were like, just talking normal and how the facts really are. They have a limited number of deputies to patrol this kind of area. And it's a vast area. And these things are never recovered. I called the pawn shop. There's two places here in the area that you can take that kind of stuff to. The pawn shop and a resale shop. Neither one of them have gotten anything in. I'm going to call them again Friday to see if something showed up this week. But Monday they hadn't gotten anything. And the sheriff said he probably, they'll sell it to somebody on the street for $30 at generator just to get a bag of heroin or whatever it's called. They may have traded it to their drug dealer for drugs. Who knows? But it's not coming back, and it's not stoppable. All you can do is try to secure things as much as possible, and try to deter them any way that you can. I don't know anything else to do. I mean, the people that live out here get hit, you know, and it's not a organized crime ring that scopes out a place and records when it's vacant or whatever. It's criminals of opportunists. You know, they're smart and they know that they can't be caught. You know, they come in ways that you don't see them. They leave in ways that you don't see them. They know people have trail cams. They know people have cameras around. So they know how to skirt all that kind of stuff, you know. They never showed up in the front of this. Had they come up here and looked in the window of this house, at that time, there was a bunch of tools in my air compressor, nail guns. All of that was in here. It's not now. That stuff's all gone. And what is left in the barn that can be is all rope chain. I got that rope wire and everything looped around poles and, all locked up. So, it won't be easy pickings if they do come back. The screws in the door, the sheriff thinks that's a cute idea and he hopes it impales somebody, but he said, you know what? The truth of the matter is, have a lawyer on standby in case it works. Because these people will sue you. If they go to shoulder that door open and get nailed with those screws, they're going to sue you. We have no rights anymore, and even he mentioned, that along with all the other problems that come with trying to ban guns and everything, we're losing our rights to defend our property and our families. They're taking all that away from us to where we don't have the right to defend this. This is my stuff. I worked for it. I bought it. I earned it. And yet I'm not able to protect it from a thief, you know. And I'm going to do it anyway, you know. And the sheriff, it was kind of funny. He swore that, you know, I mean, he said this, but he said, I'll call you a liar if you ever try in court and say I told you to do this. He said he would prefer the people out in the country like this just call them and tell them where to pick up the bodies. You know, it's a whole lot easier to pick up a dead criminal's body than it is to try to come out, do reports, do investigations, go track them down, arrest them, go through the courts. He said it'd be so much easier if, you know, I would find them on my property, shoot them, call him, tell him to come and pick up the bodies. You know, uh, obviously you can't do that. I mean, you can, but you're going to have to, you know, be prepared for going to jail for the night, you know, and being hassled for doing it. I have a concealed carry permit, so I'm prepared for that anyway. You know, right next to my concealed carry permit is a lawyer's card. So that if I do get in a situation where my life or somebody else's life is threatened, I will shoot and I will kill. And I will go to jail for the night. That's just going to happen. I'm prepared for that. And if I catch these guys on my property, I will kill them. There's no question. Just being on my property, I feel, is a threat to my life. Because they're already breaking the law by crossing my no trespassing signs. Who knows what they have or what other laws are willing to break. So I feel my life is in imminent danger by a stranger being on my property. And I will shoot and I will kill. I will not hesitate. I will not try to detain. Nothing. I will shoot and I will kill, and then I will call the police. End of story. I'll deal with it after that. But, you know, I'm still researching. I know West Virginia has the castle doctrine. I'm not sure. They were revising Ohio and trying to make it better. Some states have it, some states don't. And I know Ohio didn't used to. And in a nutshell, what the castle doctrine is, in West Virginia, if somebody comes in my front door, I can shoot them. In a state that doesn't have the castle doctrine, if somebody comes in your front door, you're required to flee out your back door. That's in a nutshell, that's the castle doctrine. You know, a man's home is his castle, and since the beginning of time, you have the right to protect your castle. Your castle includes your property, your vehicle, your family, of course, you know. So, hopefully, you know, I'm doing some more research on Ohio's code that involves the castle doctrine and fight or flee. But I know I will shoot. And as long as, you know, I have a right to have a gun, and I have a gun, I will shoot and I will kill. I will not wound. I won't tell you to halt, lay on the ground, nothing. You'll hear a gunshot a millisecond before you feel the bullet. That's what's going to happen. And that's why I'm sitting out here for a couple days. I mean, you know, me and my 9mm are just going to hang out and see what we see. Every time a vehicle goes by, I'm going to be ready. But I haven't seen a vehicle yet. I saw the UPS truck go by. And that's been it. So, I got a book. I just picked this up. Somebody left it at work. They brought in a box of books. I've never read her before. She wrote a book called She Walks These Hills. It's called The Rosewood Casket. I just started it. But in the forward, which is what made me pick it up, her dedication is to fellow Appalachian writers, Gary Barker, David Hunter, who I've read, and Clyde Kessler, of course. Uh, so I thought, okay, this involves Appalachia, so I'll check it out, and it's a pretty good read. It's not a you know suspenseful type novel. Good history so far on the Appalachian Mountains, and the way mountain folk came to be. I figure I'll read that while I'm out here waiting, because I don't want to do too much work, get into too many projects, and be making a bunch of noise. Because then, if they do come by, they won't stop, of course. But every hour or so, I'm gonna drive around and see if I see a pickup truck parked somewhere, because that's the key to it. That's the pickup truck. If I can see a pickup truck with somebody just sitting in it on the side of the road, and it's been there for a while, then I'll have a clue where to start. But that's my little update. My update on my security and what I plan on doing. But I'm going to go make a run now. I'll talk to you later. This is Joe out of St. Bernard Acres. Have a good day.